What's up, guys? I'm Chris, and today you're looking at The Worker's Peak by Tom Phoenix. Welcome to the channel, and thanks for tuning in. Please consider subscribing. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment on any questions that you have about the product I'm reviewing or anything you'd like to see in the future. Let me know your thoughts. Also, don't forget to click that notification bell so you don't miss a video or a review. The Worker's Peak is a do-it-yourself peak device that can be made for under a couple dollars with things that you probably already have at home. Not only is this an amazing peak that was brilliantly thought out, but it also serves as an out to lunch principle, depending on the rubber bands that you use. If you use thicker rubber bands, it'll totally work for that. And then also, this will hold all the business cards you need for a night out. If you're working and you need to reset, this resets instantly. You just refill with business cards or billets and you're good to go. What do you get? So you get an online tutorial that's about 28 minutes long, I think. So roughly half hour. And Tom goes over everything you need to know. I constructed my gimmick in about 20 minutes. I just followed along with Tom and it was super easy to do. It's a homemade video, kind of an over the shoulder view, but it has everything that you need to know. It's very easy to follow along, and I think it covers everything that needs to be covered to make this. So first Tom goes over the construction, then he goes over the handling and some ways to use this. The price on this right now, it's on sale at Skyward Magic. I'll leave a link in the description below. So it's $17 right now on sale. It's regular $23, and I mean, nobody's going to pay $50 for a do-it-yourself download, but that's unfortunate because Tom should be getting way more for this. The one I made here is complete, ready to go. It's probably bigger than I want it to be, so I'll probably make another one. This one would last me multiple nights, and it's not something that has to be remade after you run out. All you have to do is refill business cards or billets. So it's super simple. You only have to make it once. I just used a bit of a bigger or a longer rubber band, so it's stacked quite large. So I'll probably make a smaller one with smaller rubber bands. Difficulty level, it's very easy to make. You can follow along with Tom as he goes through the construction. And then to use, it's extremely easy. So the angles on this, it's very well covered. It just looks like a stack of billets, and it functions as a stack of billets. You take business cards out, you put it in, that's all it is. It's that simple. And then you can get a full peak with this. So it's not a partial peak. And I'll just say that the design and the thought that went into this is absolutely brilliant. This is better than any peak device that I've seen. This is better than any wallet peak that I've seen. This won't replace my wallet in an everyday carry sense, as it's normal to carry a wallet. It's not exactly as normal to carry a stack of billets, but as far as working environments and if I'm doing walk around or paid gigs, this will by far be my go-to peak method. It won't be a wallet anymore. It won't be Acidus Novus. It won't be a number of things that I've used in the past for peaks. It will be this. So like I mentioned, your angles are very well covered. There's only one spot that needs to be hidden, and that is hidden naturally by holding your stack of billets. And it's not even like you have to be cautious or careful in how you handle these. You handle these as natural as you would a regular stack of billets. And then when you get your peak, your angles are also very well covered. This can be done surrounded. You just have to, I guess, angle your hands in a certain way to get the peak, as with most peaks, whether it's a wallet or a folded billet or a number of things. Obviously, if you're able to see it, somebody else can. So you'll want to manage how you're doing it if you're surrounded. Setup and reset, it's a one-time setup. You make the gimmick and you are good to go. It's an instant reset. As soon as you have finished your performance, you can go into the next performance. Then there is also the refill, which takes all but 5 seconds to put a few more billets inside, and that's it. Arts and crafts are ready to go. Obviously, arts and crafts, right? This is a download tutorial. It's a do-it-yourself, but it's very, very simple. It won't take long to do, and you've already got everything you need. I'll almost guarantee that. Pocket space. So depending on how big you choose to make your gimmick, then that will depend on pocket space. I constructed this large. It will take up a fair amount of pocket space in that sense, but you can make this to be a quarter of the size if you want. It can take up minimal pocket space. Is it a worker, and who would use this? Obviously the mentalist, right? Anybody performing mentalism, especially strolling mentalism or close-up. But again, this is simply a peek, and you can do your revelation however you choose to do it. So this isn't exclusive to walk around or close-up by any means. This is absolutely a worker. This was designed to be a worker. This is what I will use when I'm working over everything else. Definite worker. Is it worth your money? I think Tom is completely fair in doing the 23 at full price. I think he could go a bit more than that. He hasn't, and right now it's on sale. So get it while you can. If you're a mentalist, you will absolutely use this. I can almost guarantee you that. Even though different personalities and individuals have things that they like and their go-to, this will work like a wallet, but it makes way more sense than a wallet, especially if you're working. Pros and cons. So the pros, this is something very organic. Sometimes you might get looks if you pull out a wallet, or if you're told to fold a card a certain way, or here right on this line. There's things that sometimes require justification. And although I believe that justification isn't even always necessary in those situations, sometimes people will wonder. Where with this, I don't think there's anything to question. I don't think there's anything to wonder. It's a stack of business cards. You're taking one out from the stack. They write on it or draw their picture. You place it back in the stack face down, and you pretty much instantly get your peak and it goes away. That's the definite pro for me, is that this makes more sense than pretty much every other peak method that I've seen or that I've had. And I own a lot of peak wallets, and I know a number of different peak methods. This by far makes the most sense. I have reviewed another product for Tom, which was Bringer of Light, which is also very, very good. So if you haven't watched my review video on that, I would recommend checking that out. This really goes to show how intelligent and creative Tom is. The amount of thought that went into this to make this all work the way it does, that blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind. You can tailor this to how you want it to look too, right? If you want a big stack, you can make it big. If you want a small stack, you can make it small. If you want to use business cards, you can use business cards. If you want to use billets, use billets. You can change out the rubber bands. So if you want it to look like this, then do that. If you want to have an out to lunch principle, get a thicker rubber band. Another thing is that I chose to keep mine messy looking, right? In the tutorial, Tom's going to go over things, and he suggests that it be precise, and there are things that you do want precise for this to work as clean as possible. But for me, I purposely I didn't square up my cards, and I still can because they freely move. So if I want to square them up, I can, but I want this to look as if I just pull it out of my pocket, put it on the table. Here's a business card. Like, to me, this messy look, I think, makes it look more innocent, less streamlined, right? So I like it like this. You tailor it to how you want it. That's the other great thing, is that this is fully customizable. Negatives, I'm not going to say there's any, right? It's a do-it-yourself project. It's a homemade video. It's done at home. It's not professionally recorded, but you see everything you need to see. He goes through everything you need to do, and the audio is great. Even if this were shot in a professional studio, I wouldn't have got any more out of it than I did the way that it is. So I have no negatives on this, only positives. This replaces so many things for me if I'm working, and I honestly think it will for you too. If you go ahead and purchase this, I think you would be doing yourself a great opportunity with this. It's well worth it. With that said, I have nothing left to say. Go pick this up. It's cheap, it's worth it. You can make it for next to nothing, and you will use it. With that, I'll see you at the next review.